Yeah, let's talk about Cobra Kai then. The
Okay.
final few episodes.
I was happy overall. I was a bit disappointed because it really showed to me that they should have just not. I don't exactly know how the filming. I didn't research this. I'm under the assumption they filmed all this stuff at once and then they just split it up, because there's a lot of like continuity, kind of like what is it, the first or second episode, you don't even see Robbie until he just randomly comes out there to celebrate something. It's, you know what I mean? Like he's just there.
Yeah.
Fine. Like most people get a reintroduction. Like there's, you know what I mean? And then he's just, oh, well, here's Robbie. Robbie was like one of the main parts of the show. And then you had some of these other characters that were kind of, they, you know, like I made the comment, it was good that they got to bring the other members of Miyagi-Do and Cobra Kai to watch them doing the tournament. The Sekai Taikai. I'm trying to learn how to say that shit. I was up. But then in it, like I think they run out at the end in Cobra Kai geese, but the positives are this. Here's what, okay, which is, I don't know why I didn't see this coming, but the Johnny getting a tournament shot, I did not see that coming at all, and it was awesome because they brought Cobra Kai back to being Cobra Kai. That was sweet, and they did it in a pretty tight 3 episodes. That was because like I did not see that shit coming. And they kind of got away like I memed on this before, but like some of that kind of mystic bullshit, I just didn't really kind of need all that. It was already cool, you know, like it's karate, man. It's about young people's struggles. You got enough there. We don't need. What's up?
Are you talking about like the Empire Strikes Back, where she goes into a tunnel and fights her grandpa or something?
Yeah,
in Korea. Yeah, that was weird. Like, what?
But she killed him. She killed him. That was real. She did the gut shit punch from Hot Rod. He shit his pants. He died. She murdered him. Well, I mean, she was gonna murder him, and then he caught her, and she fucking murdered him, right?
Yeah, he's like, I'm glad you murdered me.
That's how he was acted, though. I mean, that guy's makeup was terrible too. I'm sorry. That's the mystic shit I'm talking about. This, you know, and then how the did they get the knife back? The kid that died landed on the knife, and he's got it in his hand. That's evidence, son. He landed on it. He's what? How do you have this shit? You slippery old. Don't get it. That was weird to me. So okay, all right. Now there's the mystic shit I'm talking about, Wes. Now that's out of the way. Now here's what the standouts to me was the whole. He had the tournament. And then okay, when he breaks down the Kreese, dude, that killed me because it was like that guy. You could tell that like that was awesome, just because it's like I have felt that way, not to like a karate sensei, but like to certain family members and shit, you know. And that is where all that stupid bullshit, all that shield, his ego and all that comes from, is that left him way back when he had nobody. It was like, you were the guy, man, and then you just all this bullshit, and then that was sweet. And then that leads into my other thing, was like Kreese finally coming to terms with it. The problem I have with that shit though is like I still thought he was lying the whole time. I thought he was still gonna but dude, right?
Yeah,
because he wasn't any like really, to me, he wasn't acting any like he wasn't any softer. He wasn't like, you know, hey kid, look, man. He just like, he still kind of looked like he always did when he was just trying to manipulate people. I knew in my heart, and I told Tanya that when we were watching, I was like, he's being sincere here. I get it, because he with the kid dying and all that shit, he finally figured it out. So it was good to have that. And then I'm glad he didn't like ask him to put the gi on and come represent Cobra Kai with him. I'm glad that didn't happen. We don't need this out on the mat again. So that was cool. Okay, but then that's going to lead me into the next crazy shit. These two blowing up on a boat. Now, what's crazier than that? But what's crazier than that? No one says shit about it the whole rest of the show. No one says shit. Okay, Silver's like, I'm going to send this dude from part 3. Remember him? He was in part 3 there for once. I'm sending this to go and kill or hurt his family. Like it's finally getting to like some like MacGyver shit or something. And which I was like, is that really going to happen? And then he goes, and then of course falls down, breaks his neck. Kreese. I know Kreese probably karate kicked him and killed him, but still. And he's just up there smoking a cigar after he murdered someone. So like, but then they fight and then the boat blows up. No one says shit. That's not on the news nowhere. But like they don't even like after the tournament and they're like in that restaurant at the end, no one says shit. You just had that heartfelt scene. And of course, Kreese sacrificed himself also to help Johnny basically. But no one's ever gonna know. Like that kind of I hated how that whole boat shit was dumb to me. Like I
was like, they floated.
Yeah, that was because Tanya looked at me like, so, is that real? I'm like, you're watching the same thing I am. They're dead. No one comes from that. They're both 80. Like they're doing limp ass karate to each other. That shit just gotta feel like just a massage at this point. Well, no, they're the best, but still, it was just crazy to me. All that would have been fine if Daniel's wife was like, did you see this shit? And they're looking in the paper, local former karate members blown the up in the ocean. Like, oh my God, like they didn't have a moment to reflect like you.
Yeah.
I guess that the moment was like when he said he was sorry for with him and shit. I'm sorry. I know I blew your ears out. I just was. Those couple of parts there was just a little kind of surreal to me. Now, for the positives, I love how the shit. Okay, more CGI Miyagi. I've already memed on it. You know how I feel about it. The reason they did it was like, let's get one scene where Daniel and his master get to fight side by side. I get why they did it. I don't like it, but what it leads them to, where it's like, who gives a fuck? We don't have to prove ourselves in a goddamn stupid tournament where people fall on knives that don't get stored into evidence correctly. So we'll just bow the tournament. But then you get to have, because they're all, they've all had incestual sex with each other's dojos. So you have Cobra Kai, and then Miguel getting to come back and beat the fuck out of goddamn Terminator 1. That was nuts, and I like that. That was awesome. The ending was great. That whole tournament, how it ended, where now the sensei's got to fight. I was like, oh shit! Why didn't I see this coming forward? I was like, now I know what's up. And then they're like training and stuff. Oh man, I thought that was just awesome. He's like, feeling, it's like, dude, this was what led me to ruin the first time. Was I lost a tournament and everyone abandoned me, and I just now have everything I could ever want. And that's what they keep telling them, which is awesome. It's like the logical thing, it's like, who gives a if you lose? But he's like, I give a because it's like, so I get that shit. And then him getting that's awesome. And then the fact that he keeps continuing to teach karate, I liked that scene too, where he's like he has the speech about, sometimes you got to be this way, but sometimes you're going to go over to Miyagi-Do and be soft pussies like Daniel and all those motherfuckers. Kidding. You know what I mean? Like, I like that they incorporated that. I like how Hawk and Dimitri, your favorite character is Dimitri, right? That's what you said the last time. I remember that. But
yeah, I love
I
love the sideburns. I love the sideburns on these. favorite part of the season.
Hey, you gotta be a little jealous of Dimitri. He ended up with what's her name? Like, how the hell does that shit happen? You know, and then like he's crushing it, bro. He's crushing it. Anyways, but him and Hawkett like end up getting to go to college together, and they go to. Okay, this is what you're gonna love this. Because I thought, well, maybe not, because I don't know how much appreciation you have for it. I think you have some. They're going to Caltech, right? Caltech is a pretty prestigious school in California. That's the school that the college in Real Genius is based off of, right? Now, what was the shirts they was wearing at the end?
Yep, Real Genius
t-shirts. That was, and I don't know. I'm pretty sure that was an in joke, a meta joke. But I said that to Tanya. I said, Caltech's awesome. That's the school that all were like, you know, Laszlo in the tunnels and shit. That's all really based off reality and stuff. And so they went there. So I thought that was cool. The fact, and I called the Miguel going to Okinawa with her thing. I was like, well, we'll go figure it out for a couple months or whatever. And then I'll leave you the phone and shit. I thought that was cool. What else? I don't know. You tell me some shit. What do you think, man? Like I thought overall it was good, and overall this is a show. When my grandson's born, I want to introduce him to it. I'll be like, hey man, you want to come over spend a night? We'll popcorn, watch a bunch of karate movies, man. I got a bunch of shit right here. Lore dump. Let's go.
Yeah.
I would watch this shit again, because Tanya was even saying I need to rewatch those first movies. I even told you, I was like, you should watch 2 and 3 just to give your. I mean, if there's no other reason in part 3 to really, except to just watch how nuts a karate, just Terry Silver and Kreese being insane is awesome. Like, I don't know. And then you get to see the crazy dude that got his neck snapped by John Kreese at the end when they blew up on the boat. But anyways, what do you think, man?
I will probably watch all 3 movies again just for the extra context after watching this series. I really like these final episodes because it just comes back around the original concept of the show, and that is focusing on Johnny Lawrence, you know, and Cobra Kai. I mean, the show is called Cobra Kai, so you bring back. Oh, go ahead.
I just wanted one more interjection. I'm glad that you said the thing about it's bringing about Cobra Kai. I forgot to mention that the show started with Johnny and Miguel, and they have more of a focus, more Johnny than Miguel. But like when Miguel's getting ready to fight that dude, and he's like, that goes through all the shit they went through together, and then like right before he kicks him for the win, he's like, "Look, man, you're fucking standing." You know, that was awesome. So that whole correlation where they brought it back to Johnny and Miguel and Cobra Kai, I appreciated that. But I'm sorry, I won't interrupt you again.
Oh, that's fine. Yeah, and I like how he did that. And like you say with the Mystic stuff, like, yeah, I mean, they have to tie up those storylines and shit some way. It is kind of goofy, but they, you know, especially these last few episodes, they have to, you know, it's an ensemble cast, so you probably got to put a lot of the characters in the backseat just to focus on the core story and get the ending that they were going for, like Johnny finally getting his victory, you know, having his redemption, Cobra Kai changing into like a more balanced, you know, they talk about balance with Miyagi-Do and Cobra Kai, and anything I didn't like about it, I mean, yeah, they got the goofy shit about them blowing up on the boat, her killing her grandpa and shit, and Elizabeth Berkley, like I wasn't expecting Elizabeth Berkley to show up. Jesse Spano, you know, so excited, so scared.
I'm so excited! I'm so scared!
I'm glad Taguchi went back to go hang out with Hoon. I think that's her name. I always fuck that up, but it goes back to, you know, just be careful, man. Don't get better at her than karate, or she'll blow your guts out your asshole and you'll die.
She'll.
And we, you know, and I was right. We didn't get Hillary Swank, bro. I told you that shit wasn't gonna happen.
Yeah, damn.
I hate to be that guy.
But-
I'm just saying. I didn't see it in the budget. You know what I mean? But anyways,
Yeah.
go ahead.
I don't know. I mean, I don't know if she's like that big anymore, but I mean, and they didn't introduce any new characters, like any like returning characters in these final episodes. Which I mean, that's what it is. It's just very focused on Johnny Lawrence. You know, it's even Daniel. He gets kind of like put on the back burner for a little bit.
Yeah.
I liked it so much that I'm willing to just rewatch the original Karate Kid trilogy now. So
Yeah. That's not to say that I probably wouldn't skip the CW season, as I like to call it, because there's one season it's just like it's really more about the whole kid bullshit, and it's like I don't relate to any of these problems you bitches have at all. And I'm like, I just don't really. And I am going to end up rewatching it anyway, just because I want to. But yeah, I think it went out on a strong ending. I liked, oh goddamn, that very end where you think he's going to catch the fly in chopsticks again, and then it comes to Johnny snatches it. I love that because it represents that yin and yang, you know, because he's like, I'm Johnny Lawrence. He got it in his own way. It's like, it's still not easy to do that, I guess. He's like, no mercy. I thought that was awesome. So they had a lot of good moments like that. I was happy overall, though.
Yeah, and it makes me just want to go rewatch the original movies again. And I just looked up, as like that Karate Kid Legends. Apparently, it is connected to Cobra Kai, and it takes place 3 years after Cobra Kai. An interesting thing I caught during the credits is that Will Smith is a producer on Cobra Kai.
Yeah,
I didn't know that. And then
there's a Pinkett. There is a Pinkett that's a producer on it too. Like under his name, when it's showing those producer credits, there's a Pinkett under there too. So I wonder if that's not some of Jada's relation or not. I don't know, but I assume. Yeah,
and another little thing, I don't know if you heard it, but I watched everything with subtitles. So you know the episode where they put the VR headset on him and he's got to train against, Terminator 1.
Yeah.
And and had that music playing like ear in the background. It's actually got lyrics to it, and it's like it went, Eli and Dimitri are binary brothers. I couldn't really hear it. Yeah, go back and watch it because it has like the lyrics on the subtitles. I'm like, what the? You can really hear it, like the lyrics in it. Like Eli and Dimitri are binary brothers.
What the? I mean, they do mention that at one point, but that's
They put so much detail into that song where you can barely hear the lyrics.
They might explore each other at Caltech, man. I don't know if they're putting pseudo songs. I don't know. They did bring, it was cool. You got to see what's her Moon, the girl that was with Hawk. Because most of that teen drama shit, they're all, most of those side characters are gone by the end of the show, except excuse me, most of them are in this last season. I was telling Tanya that it's in the first set of 5 episodes though, but that's like one of my favorite scenes. Okay, you remember the character, I think his name's Kyler. He's the Asian guy that's like the original bully from the very first season that Miguel beats the out of in the classroom. Okay, you remember he's getting hazed in college, right? They're like, hey, let's go check out college and see what it's like and shit, and they're like, we can go hang out with Kyler, and they're punking Kyler the whole time and he's just taking it, and then they get in a fight and then Kyler just stands up, he's like, oh yeah, I forgot I do karate, and he just beats the out of all those guys. I love that. I thought that was the shit. So I guess it wasn't in these last 5 episodes, but that's something I need to do now that they're all out, is just watch all of them back to front or front to back, just to get more of a flow. Because that's another thing too. It's like you don't get much of a flow. There's no recap. So it's kind of hard for me to, I don't want to have to study for something I watched already to, but most of that last shit was still pretty fresh in my mind. But yeah, so overall, I'm glad Cobra Kai exists, dude. Like who would have thought about that? And that was okay. Did you notice that too? It was in one of the final episodes. Those three guys are sitting around discussing ideas for a movie. That's like literally the three guys that created Cobra Kai, and that's literally what they're talking about. It's like, what if we made a movie that's based off of this guy? Like, what happens to him after all that shit? And look how awesome it was. I think that's great. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like, fucking awesome. I don't know. I'm happy with it. I'm glad Cobra Kai exists. You get to see Billy Zabka have his acting chops. That guy's been a prolific actor for years, man. He's never been a leading man, and then now he gets to have it with this. I thought that was awesome, and hopefully that pans out for some more shit for him, because hell, he was in a couple episodes because I don't know how much How I Met Your Mother you've ever watched, but Barney Stinson, that was Neil Patrick Harris's character. Of course, we know he's gay in real life, but in that he was like a habitual womanizer, and his favorite character in Karate Kid was Johnny Lawrence. He's like, no, Johnny Lawrence got because he took an illegal kick to the face. And then so William Zabka's in a couple of episodes because like hanging out with him because they're like friends. So, but he's there as William Zabka. So it's like, I just thought that was cool. But yeah, overall, I'm pretty happy.
What if you were to give it a rating, this whole season, all three parts, this final season, what would you think you would give it?
I don't like doing halves, but I would probably go. I want to say 3.5 or 4, more on like the 3.5 side, just because I hate it when sometimes some shit's just there just to be there. And I get the mystique stuff too. Sometimes I feel we got to put a magical element in here or something. It's just like, you really didn't need to, though. Couldn't they have just learned hard ass karate from hard ass people that don't know love? Did there have to be cobras and shit involved? Did we have to fight above a snake pit? Just things like that. But the overall thing for this as a whole, I'd say probably 3.5. And then, which in my opinion is a pretty good rating, because, to me, that's it. I don't know. I don't even know how I feel about ratings. I'm always like, how's it compare to Young Guns? No, I'm kidding. I'm just like, is this something I would want to watch again? Or even, is it something I would want to even watch one episode of again? And this is something I would definitely watch. In the final 5 episodes, 3.5 solid, yeah.
Yeah, I think I'd go about 4 with it. I think just everything, it did such a good job wrapping everything up in a season with so many characters, and especially just focusing on Johnny and Cobra Kai at the last part of it. Like, I'll just go with the mysticism and the boat explosion, because I can't take it too seriously. It's like,
for sure.
Yeah, cheesy ass show that I enjoy, but like, if I'm thinking of like wrestling terms, like everything is booked to make sense, if that makes any sense. Like, it's pretty tight for what it is. So yeah, I really enjoyed it. It makes me want to revisit the original Karate Kid trilogy. I might skip the Hilary Swank one since she didn't show up. That's what you get. That's what you get, Hilary.
And one more thing, I want to spotlight, like, man, I hate that I always forget their names. Miguel's mom and grandma, they're awesome. His grandma's hilarious. Yeah. I liked him. I liked her a lot. And then Daniel's wife, she's a riot. I like the shit out of her. Like, she has to have more sense than him most of the time. I like that.
Yeah,
like
yeah.
like
Like,
a
what?
strong woman character that's not like domineering, but like she's got the bonsai paint on her cheek, she's got the headband on, the gi on. You better watch it, she's saying. But yeah.
Well, that grandma called her grandson a bastardo or a
Bastardo. she was just being real though. I mean, like, y'all need to get married or you're gonna be a bastard. But she was saying that because she's like, I like you now. I don't want him to be a bastard. Bastardo. Yeah.
Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed the video, give it a thumbs up, leave a comment, and subscribe. Don't forget to hit the bell so you never miss an update. If you want to support the channel and get exclusive content, check out our Patreon in the link below.